Hey guys, so this is gonna be a bit of a shorter one, but I had a thought today and I wanted to share it. Um, so whenever I was dealing with a lot of things, trauma, um, general mental anguish, right? Um, I used a lot of substances to avoid dealing with those problems for a long time, a long, long time. Whatever substance I could use or I thought would work, that's what I did. And not many of them I'm proud of. I'd venture to say I'm not proud of any of them. So my question for you is, do you actually have a problem with substances, or are you just avoiding facing shit you've had to go through? You know? I want you to ponder on that, because I've found a lot of people that at least in my life, have used substances to avoid trauma or dealing with emotions that they've otherwise suppressed, right? Um, so it's becoming a very common, or it has been a very common thing, I guess, for people to avoid whatever it is. And let me ask you another question while I'm on this train of thought. While you're avoiding whatever it is that you have going on underneath the surface, right? Do you find yourself more prone to negative emotions? Do you feel them more extremely? Do you find yourself getting irritable with people that you otherwise wouldn't be so irritable with? Or does stupid stuff that normally wouldn't get to you get to you? Now, that's not a blanket statement. You're avoiding something, because that can also just be stress. But for the topic today, that's my question to you. If you are not dealing with something, do you find yourself exploding or getting close to going off on people who don't deserve it because you're in a shitty place mentally? Let me know. I would love to hear thoughts. Um, I'll give you an example of my own experience with this. When I was a teenager, it didn't take a lot for me to get upset at all. It didn't take me but a little bit, and I would let it fuck my whole day up, right? Um, so I thought that I had to smoke weed or drink alcohol or do other things that I'm not even going to talk about to keep my mind at bay and to allow me to control my emotions while I was feeling them so heavily. And more often than not, I would have an attitude with people who didn't deserve it, or I would be irritated with people for little to nothing. But the people who did do wrong, I got explosive with, which obviously doesn't lead to anything positive or productive. So didn't know how to deal with emotions at all. I didn't know how to deal with past experiences. I didn't know. So I would avoid it to the best of my ability. And often it was a very unhealthy way of doing it. I found healthy ways along the way, but it wasn't enough. You know, it wasn't enough until I just put my chin down and swung for the fences. Because in a situation where you're dealing with a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, and a lot of trauma, we'll say, very prone to negative emotion. And oftentimes it was anger. But I've learned anger is a masking emotion. It's not something you're truly feeling. It's more of what you use to hide what you're actually feeling. Right? So that's my question for you guys. I would love to hear thoughts on that one. Let me know. Comments, emails, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not your dad, but I would love to hear. Email will be down below. And obviously, you know where comments go. I'm sure you do. So I hope you're all having a good day and ponder on those questions. I think that's something we all need to ask ourselves, especially if we're dealing with a lot of shit, you know? So I'll see you in the next one.